Hello, everybody. This is Frank with Iron Age News. It's Wednesday, August 6th, and we are back to the nonsense again. The more news articles that can be spun up to take your attention away from the fact that President Obama and possibly going all the way back to President Clinton's era have been involved in deep state operations to deny the United States citizens their true and elected president, plus a lot of other things. Instead, we're going to talk about the state of Texas and how it can't keep its Democrats in line. It's been a lot of pearl clutching the last few days, a lot of threats of violence and capturing and branding these people and possibly hobbling them and doing all this other stuff because the Democrats have walked out to deny a quorum to the state government, which would allow them to redistrict the state of Texas theoretically in a more favorable way to the Republicans, which is why the Democrats aren't showing out, right? So this is not new. With the dawn of the information age, those of you who are taking anybody's story at face value are doing yourself a disservice. Even the Washington Post is right. The New York Times is right sometimes, but I wouldn't get that crazy about it. But what we have here is not a new thing. This is the third time that the Democrats have pulled this nonsense. The first time was 2003, and it's already occurred. The walkout to Oklahoma, New Mexico, which was a block redistricting plan. Okay, so they're blocking the redistricting. Sounds familiar, right? 2021, the first chamber walkout, then flight to DC, was to prevent voting restrictions bill. Okay. And the last one, which is now 2025 of August, 50 House Democrats departed to Illinois, New York, Massachusetts, and other Democrat-led states to prevent passage of a Republican-backed mid-decade congressional redistricting plan that could gain 5 U.S. House seats for the Republicans. That's courtesy of the Washington Post. And the other one was from Wikipedia. I forget where the third one's from, but we'll write this down in an article for you so you can get it all. So this is not a new thing. The governor's office has issued a warrant for them, which is actually considered a subpoena. Texas law is a little unique in that it has elements and words, I think, from Spanish common law. We used to have a little bit of it in Florida, but the Texas laws are based on a number of different things, which make them fairly unique in the world. So when they say an arrest warrant, it's really written as a subpoena. There was a Democrat woman running her mouth the other day, and she had said the same thing, and she was actually right. But as they tell you, a broken clock is right twice a day. So don't think that she's going to be splitting the atom anytime after that. It has nothing to do with her being a woman, has to do with her being a Democrat. So that is occurring. There is no way to make them come back. You cannot force them to come back to the state. They are going to probably lose if they vote for it. They will lose their per diem, which they get paid to be in the state house every day. It's kind of funny, huh? Didn't know that one, did you? That you get paid to go do your job? And the idea that they could try to make them vacate their seats, that's not going to work. This is all just a lot of people who don't understand the law, who have somebody that they are on their payroll who's supposed to know the law, who also doesn't know the law because it's usually your girlfriend or boyfriend or your girlfriend or boyfriend's boyfriend or girlfriend that you've hired for $50,000 a year who knows nothing, right? So there are things that they can do, all right? This Texas legislature can compel attendance, but only within the jurisdiction of the state. They have fled the state, so that's over with. And they have fled the state to other blue states. So there's no idea, because somebody thought maybe somebody would track you down and send you back, extradite you. There is no extraditing. These are called civil arrest warrants, which is what the woman had called a subpoena. It's like you say, it's a symbolic subpoena or an arrest warrant. They were also issued in 2020, 2003 and 2021 and are legally useless after you leave the state. Okay. In 2021, the Texas Supreme Court ruled 8-1 that the House could civilly detain its members to force a quorum, I'm sorry. That's when they're already there. If they've already fled, you've got nothing, okay? So you can't extradite. There are no criminal charges. There's no federal enforcement mechanism. So they're out there doing what they're doing and they're having a good old time, doing it. But what you could do if you wanted, and this is where you'll catch them, most of them. Every politician hates to spend his or her own money. So I would say right now, you get in touch with the Inspector General's office of the House of Representatives of the state of Texas, or whatever office they have there that does this job. And on the return to the state of these Democrats, or by the end of the year, one would audit their expense accounts. Because if they used even one penny to flee the state and are trying to expense it to the state of Texas, then it's misuse of public funds. And that's for real. Texas Penal Code 39.02, abuse of official capacity. It is a criminal offense. So if they file false reimbursement claims for that travel or those days that they're out, because they're going to be out free will, and nobody's staying at the Rice Planters Motel out there on 95 or out there on Route 7. Hell no, right? They're staying someplace nice. So not only would they have it, it's an indefensible position if they file false reimbursement claims. It has no legitimate legislative purpose, first of all, because it doesn't, and it's being done with intent to obstruct the legislature. So you have misdemeanor or felony charges there. All right. I'll include them in the document because it's funny that these idiots never look at the important thing, because there's not a politician out there who ever expects to be put in a jail cell. So when people are telling you, oh my God, what are we going to do down here in Texas? That's why all your exes live there, right? Because you're free in Tennessee. So let it go. They'll come back eventually because they're going to run out of money. Congressmen tend not to have the billions of dollars of a Nancy Pelosi, especially ones that are childish enough to run out of state like a bunch of little freaking schoolgirls to avoid doing their job. You have an open revolt against the rule of law in the United States by every member of the Democrat Party that is in an elected position, pretty much, including those that are in appointed positions such as judges. They're going to have to start treating this like a counterinsurgency and start getting out the newspaper and smacking them on the nose when they piss on the carpet. It's the only thing that you can do. So as far as this issue, that's it. We were going to do something about, once again, people that yell crazy shit like, do you have a warrant during these ICE raids? But we've already assembled a children's book. And you could go over to Gum Street and buy it if you'd like for $1. Or you could email us from there and say, I don't want to pay $1, and we'll just send you the pages because we find it to be funny. So that's about all. Have a good day. It is Wednesday, August 6th, and I'll talk to you later on.